Hey everyone, Mike Gallo, Remax Sunset Realty here, and we're going to talk a little bit about buying a home. You know, man, if you're if you're renting a house, you might want to stop doing that. You're wasting money. You're helping someone else get rich. You're helping someone else build equity. You know, take control of your personal wealth. So a lot of times when I talk to people about buying a home, down payment is a problem. Closing costs are a problem. And I get that. Saving money to buy a home is not easy. But there's ways around that. Did you know that just about every loan, well, all loan types allow for you to have the seller give you a little bit of a credit at the closing, which is great, and it helps you shore up some of your down payment money. FHA allows up to 6%. Now, whether the seller is going to be willing to pay up to 6% is a whole different thing, and we'll get to that in a second. So what you need to do is talk to your mortgage person. You might have the FICO and the income and everything's great, but you only have a few $1,000s in the bank. So there's options. Okay, one option would be a seller concession. If you're going to go into a purchase with a seller concession where you're asking the seller to give you a credit back at the closing, be very aware of the fact that right now in today's market, buyers, it's so competitive for buyers. I just put a house under contract this week. We had 5 offers within 3 days of it going on the market. So it's very competitive. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're going in strong. So if you need the closing cost money, there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to make sure that you're not also trying to reduce the sales price. So let's say the house is for sale at $200,000, and your lender says, well, you're going to need about $6,000, to get you to the closing table with what you might already have a couple of thousand saved up or whatever. Okay, great. Well, maybe don't offer, 190,000 and then ask for another 6,000 back. Go in strong and take your concession. Okay? Your home inspection period, it's amazing. Our general contract allows for, up to 15 days or so for a home inspection. That's a long time to get a home inspection done. So shrink that. Be more competitive. Make a stronger offer. Okay? Already speak to the home inspector. Figure out who you're going to use. Have your realtor give you a list of home inspectors that are qualified, experienced, and have a good reputation. Call them, find out. I'm looking at a house around 2,000 square feet. What's it going to cost for a home inspection? What's your schedule like? How busy are you? Because if you go under contract, you need to make the call that day and schedule that home inspection. So shrink that home inspection period. Get it done within a week or 10 days. Don't drag it out for a long time. So that's one little tip when you're making an offer. Okay, so don't go down too low on the price if you're asking for a concession. That's your reduction in the sale. Okay? Whenever you ask a seller for a concession, that money is literally coming right out of their proceeds, right out of their pocket and going to you. They still pay real estate commissions on the full price of the house. They pay documentary stamps, estate transfer tax on the full price of the house. They pay title insurance on the full price of the house. And they're giving you money back. So, people can only be so generous. So keep that in mind. Go in strong, okay? If there's room for appraisal in there, maybe go in above the list price. If your realtor tells you, like, look, this house will probably appraise for, a little more than they're asking, maybe go in a little higher and then ask for the seller concession so you're not kind of taking all the money from them, okay? So that's one thing. Having your pre-approval is super important. I don't know any reputable realtor who will show you houses without a pre-approval. We need to have your financing in place. Not only because we want to make sure that you can afford to buy the house, we want to make sure that whatever your loan type is will fit the homes that you're looking at. Not every house will go FHA. Not every house will go VA. Okay? Also, but depending on your FICO, your debt to income ratio, and a few other factors, it's going to determine whether or not you qualify for FHA or conventional loan. Conventional loans, based on your FICO score, down payment money could be higher. There's also a little thing called gift funds. Someone can give you money to help you with your down payment money. It's called a gift. Your parents, sorry, parents just cringe. Like, I already paid for your college, now I have to give you down payment money for your house. But your parents, grandparent, relative, okay, as long as it can be documented that they gave you the money and all that stuff with bank statements and things like that, you can get gift money with some loan programs. Okay, so it's very important that you speak to your mortgage person, be upfront with them. How much money do you have in the bank? You know, they're going to calculate what your closing costs are going to be. Sometimes you can't buy a home in a neighborhood with a homeowners association if the fees are too high. Sometimes you can't buy a home in a neighborhood with a CDD fee because that extra fee, those extra fees will counter and offset your debt to income ratio. So we want to make sure that that went off the rails really quick. We want to make sure that you don't go into the transaction of buying a home and then have the lender go, oh, well, you know, between insurance and this and that, you know, you can't buy that house because the debt to income ratio is off. And it could be as little as a few dollars a month, believe me. Okay? Same thing with flood zone. You know, I want a house on the water. I hear that all the time. I want to live on the water. I want to live on the, well, I mean, we live on the Gulf of Mexico. Well, not on the Gulf of Mexico, but near it. And, you know, I'm a coastal person. I grew up on an island, technically. Long Island's an island. You know, I lived at the beach. And I need to be near water. And I get that. And I get people love their boats and things like that, and you want to live on the water. Well, flood insurance is a factor. You'll have to carry flood insurance on the house, even if it's stilted. Stilted home is when it's elevated. Garage is underneath. But you'll have to carry flood insurance. If it's a ranch on a canal on the Gulf of Mexico, your flood insurance is going to be even higher if it's a single-story, you know, dwelling. So you've got your flood insurance, your homeowner's insurance, and then if there's an HOA or anything like that. So that all has to be taken into consideration. If flood insurance is going to be a problem, we have to make sure that you're not going to look at houses that are in any kind of a flood zone. Okay? Because your financing won't allow it. So don't think that you have to have $15,000 saved in the bank to purchase a home. There's programs out there. There's down payment assistance programs and different things like that. So I've been doing this for a while, and I have a number of lenders that I know, like, trust, who have different programs for first-time home buyers. Okay, and a first-time home buyer generally is somebody who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 to 5 years, somewhere in that range. So there's options out there, but I still do recommend that if you're looking to buy a house and you're paying rent, which is a bummer, try to save up as much money as you can. Okay, if you signed a lease this year, maybe plan, budget to not sign a lease next year. Give me a call and we can help you buy a house. Odds are, if you're renting, you can purchase a house very similar to yours and have a smaller monthly payment. You're going to grow equity. You're going to grow wealth. I just now had a past customer come back. In 2016, we had our house listed for sale, and she was a short sale. And that's when you sell your house short of what you owe, and you have to ask the bank to kind of like forgive you for, you know, the money you're not going to pay them. And it was challenging, to say the least, because at that time short sales were starting to kind of go away, and it was a little more difficult. So she decided not to sell the house. Well, 2 years later, and now we're selling her house, and she's going to walk away with almost $30,000 in her pocket. She grew wealth. She bought the house. She had down payment assistance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. She had a seller concession, and then she had a little bit of money of her own, and her parents had loaned her a few dollars as well. So she really had very little out of pocket. Her mortgage was well below our average rental rate, and now that she's selling the house, she's making money. That's the goal. You know, I don't care what neighborhood you're in. I don't care what area you're in. If you make a smart purchase, you'll be good. So if you're looking to buy a house in Port Richey, Newport Richey, Hudson, anywhere from County Line Road to Tarpon Springs and as far out as Land O'Lakes, give me a call. My team, I have a great buyer's agent who loves working with buyers. He's very caring. We're not out for the deal. We're out to make sure that you get the best property in your price point that you're going to live in and that you're going to be happy with. Okay, so if you're looking to buy a house in Western Pasco County, Florida, give me a call. Mike Gallo, Remax Sunset Realty, 727-271-2667. Or you can visit my website, movewithmike.us. You can find me on Facebook, movewithmikefl. You can find me on Instagram at movewithmikefl. You can find me on Twitter at movewithmikefl. So reach out to me. Even if you're not ready to buy a house right now, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Get you paired up with a mortgage person who can coach you. And maybe your credit's not so great and you know that. I mean, when my credit wasn't great, I knew it. It wasn't like a shock. But, you know, some lenders will be able to work with you and they'll guide you and they'll advise you on what you need to do based on your specific situation to get your FICO score up, to get your debt to income ratio within the ranges that it needs to be in. So don't just sit there thinking, I can't buy a house, you know, I don't have money in the bank, that kind of a thing. Give me a call. Call your favorite realtor. We're more than happy to talk to you, help you, advise you, connect you with a mortgage professional who will do what's in your best interest to help you get in a home. So that's it for now. If you need me, I'm always around. Mike Gallo, Remax Sunset Realty. See you soon.